Overhead, the Abraham series. Story number 7. New names and a covenant sign. Taken from Genesis chapter 17, verses 1 through 22. More than 13 years have passed since the painful episode recorded in the previous account. Perhaps the sharpness of the past has faded, but at 89 years of age, Sarai's hopes for a child have come and gone. The covenant sign of circumcision is now introduced to Abram and his descendants for the first time. In an interesting play on words, the Lord informs Abram that anyone who refused to be circumcised will have cut themselves off from the covenant relationship. The Lord also gives Abram and Sarai new names. Bible names are often prophetic. The name Abraham means father of a multitude. One can only imagine the reaction of the servants to that announcement. Sarah means princess. If their new names are a surprise, the reason given had to be a shock. This is what happened. Now Abram was 99 years old, and the Lord appeared to him and said, I am God Almighty. Walk in my ways and be blameless, and I will confirm the covenant that I made with you, and greatly multiply your family. Abram fell on his face before the Lord. And God said to him, Listen, my covenant is with you, and you will become the father of many nations. Your name is no longer Abram. Your name will be Abraham, because I have made you the father of many nations. I am going to increase the number of your descendants even more. Nations will come from you. You will produce kings. I will confirm the covenant that I made with you, and extend it to your offspring and descendants yet to come, as an everlasting covenant, to be your God, and the God of your descendants who come after you. And I will give you the land through which you have wandered as a foreigner, all the land of Canaan, as an everlasting possession. I will be your God, and your descendants' God, forever. And God said to Abraham, As for you, keep my covenant, and not just you, but your family that comes after you. Keep my covenant throughout all your generations. This is my covenant which you will keep. The covenant that exists between me and you and everyone who comes after you. Every male in your family must be circumcised by cutting off the flesh of his foreskin. This will be the sign of the covenant that we have between us. Every son who is born in your household must be circumcised when he is 8 days old. Every male throughout all your generations, whether he is born in your house or bought with your money, including any foreigner, shall be circumcised. This sign of the covenant will be in your flesh as proof of the eternal covenant we have. Any man who is not circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin has cut himself off from his family. He has broken my covenant. Then God said to Abraham, Now about your wife Sarai, don't call her Sarai any more. Call her Sarah. I am going to bless her too. In fact, I am going to give you a son through her. I am going to bless her. She will give birth to nations. Kings will come from her. Then Abraham fell on his face and laughed and said in his heart, How can 100-year-old man give birth to a child? Can Sarah give birth to a child? She's 90 years old. And Abraham said to God, Why can't Ishmael be the promised one in your eyes?" But God said, "No, your wife Sarah will give birth to a son for you. Give him the name Isaac, and I will confirm my covenant with him and those who come after him as an everlasting covenant." Now about Ishmael, I have heard what you said, and I will bless him too. Ishmael will have many children, and I will multiply him over and over. He will father 12 princes and become a great nation. But my covenant will be with Isaac, who Sarah will give birth to about this time next year. And when Jehovah had finished talking with Abraham, he left. But Abraham remained standing where he was. The Abraham series. Story number 7. New names and a covenant sign. Taken from Genesis chapter 17, verses 1 through 22.